In this episode of OG 55, I got theme park wizard in the house with us today. We got the Italiano. We're talking all about Epic Universe. There were some amazing pictures of the Harry Potter land, the newest Wizarding World land over there at Epic Universe, and it's blowing minds. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. Up next on this very universally OG 55. What? Oh, look at Wizard. You got some. Oh, you got a little mustard over there, Wizard?
Oh yeah, mustard on the beat. Hope.
You know, here before we get started, right? Before we get started, we have Wizard. We got OG, very West Coast. Italiano is pretty West Coast himself. He's on PST. West Coast. He is PST time. You can call this guy at 11 p.m. California time. He is still up. He is on California time. He's moving to California. So you know what? Since this is a very West Coast kind of show, we got to start off with a little Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? Here we go.
Hey. Second bad, but somebody got to do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody got to do it. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off,
How long are we going to go? How long are we going to go?
Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Ain't no other key in this rap thing like siblings.
There we go.
George, I must say, doing a good job of listening because he kept saying turn his TV off, but your TV was already off. So good
See,
job.
how do you like that? See, I already know what's going on.
There you go. Oh, did you say how you like that? Okay, where's my black pink drop? No, I was kidding. But the Italiano, where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
Absolutely. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You could also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And of course, you can find me right here on my home base on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info.
There we go. We can also find you on the West Coast in a few days, from what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Nah, I was kidding. There it is.
Hi. Mustard on the beat. Hope.
There we go. It's an all Kendrick show.
The YouTube copyright is going to go wild with this.
I know, seriously. It's crazy. But Mr. Wizard, is always good to have you back, especially talking about Universal. Where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
You can find me at Park Wizard 1 on Twitter, on Theme Park Wizard at Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram. And I think that's it. And then soon you can book your next vacation with me at a travel agency. Oh yeah, because if you book with me, you get free mustard on the beat.
On the beat, ho. There you go. Perfect. Yes, make sure you follow Wizard. He's a friend of the channel. He's been a friend of the channel for a very, very long time. He does great content. He's really on top of the permits for both Disneyland Resort and Universal Hollywood and Orlando. He's doing it. And when he does his travel agency thing, we will definitely be here to promote that, of course. So let's go ahead and must it on the beat. Let's go ahead and dive into this. This is courtesy of People Magazine. Exclusive photos. See every detail inside the new Harry Potter ride opening at Universal Orlando. People has an exclusive first look inside Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry. Love that name. That's awesome. Opening at Universal Orlando's new Epic Universe Park in 2025. So let's go ahead and kind of go through these pictures. Wizard, I want to start with you, man. Like, this is crazy. Like, honestly, dude, like, the Wizarding World stuff they've done at Universal have all, between Diagon Alley and the Hogsmeade, I think it is. Obviously, those two lands were top-notch, A+, incredible theme design and what have you. It looks like they've taken that and, like, turned it up a notch or two, because the tile work and the way this looks is absolutely stunning. What are your thoughts on this, Wizard?
Mustard! That's what I think. My God. Look at this. This is an actual 5-story building with lateral offices there. Those are not projections, folks. Those are actual windows. and that's my office right there. 'Cause, I mean, look at that. I'm in the ministry. That's the wizard's office. And that's just a cube space. That's incredible. That's just a cube.
I was just going to ask you that. So this is the queue. So when you're so this is the queue walking into the attraction.
Yeah, this is when you come through the fireplace, the Flu Network. You're in the ministry, just like in the movie. That's one scene right there. Then you continue, and then there's still the ride. We go on the ride to go.
That's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Now, for those of you, before I go to George, in terms of the fireplace, because a lot of people aren't necessarily familiar with this particular aspect of the attraction. I think this is a cool element of it, but explain to everybody at home this fireplace kind of effect that they're going to have with this ride.
So yes, so the fireplace or the Flu Network is just like, it's called the Metro Flu. It's like how the wizards transport and go across the Wizarding World and Harry Potter land areas. So now they're going to incorporate it here into the theme park. So it'll be in the Paris area. You'll go into a walkway. We'll make a right-hand turn into this fireplace. It'll be magically transformed like poof into London. And you'll come right out into the ministry, and then you exit. You'll take the subway Metro Flu back into Paris in a different time frame. I guess it's a time traveling thing too, because it's a 2 different years.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Mr. Italiano, what are your thoughts on this first image coming out of the Ministry of Magic ride?
When I saw the stills for this, I was absolutely blown away.
You passed out.
Basically, yeah. I'd like the attention of detail that they put in to just the queue for this thing. I could imagine what the actual attraction is going to be in store for us. But I also mentioned when we were on Theme Park Conductors Live that what I find very interesting about this is when you watch any of the Harry Potter films, you're getting the aspect of a one depth perception of wherever the camera angle is shooting at the time. And then if you actually go on set, you have blue screen, green screen, set pieces, if you will. When we end up walking into this particular storyline, we get to see a full 360 degree basic of detail of like really what the Ministry of Magic actually is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see and we all know how J.K. Rowling is with the attention to detail, because Potter is her baby, despite of how, people view her or see her, personally or politically or what have you. But I mean, she is a great storyteller and brought this world to life for us to enjoy. And I have to commend Universal on the fact that when they first did the Wizarding World, it was at the back end of the Potter franchise, the films, kind of wrapping it up. So it was like in the hype of like the finale and everything, and you get the Wizarding World with this new kind of technology with the Kuka arm and what have you. Several years later, they end up building Diagon Alley, where the franchise was still kind of fresh off of the finale and what have you. But this now is going to be about 15 years after the fact the Potter craze has ended. So to be able to keep this storyline vibrant and fresh and relevant with a brand new storyline after the fact of when the final film was completed, to see how Dolores Umbridge's fate is going to be with the Ministry and what have you, and including with a lot of the Death Eaters and what have you. It's going to be very interesting to see a brand new take on this franchise.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. It's a time. It really is a timeless franchise. With all franchises, popularity will ebb and flow. Mm-hmm. Same thing happens with Star Wars, and it will happen with it. Well, it has happened even with Marvel. But Harry Potter as a franchise will always have a place in our collective pop culture kind of awareness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned, George, about J.K. Rowling. See, I think Universal, obviously, J.K. Rowling says some controversial stuff, right? So I feel like that's part of the reason why Universal specifically, they said they really, I feel like took care of this land. They said, because because she's so controversial, it might cause people some pause, like, do I want to go to Harry Potter? I don't want to support that. But if they make it look so good, I feel like even those people might just even want to check it out. Like if they cheaped out on the land, like it'll be, those people will be like, oh heck no, I'm not even going over there. But after seeing these pictures and the ride system, they may not buy anything because they still may not want to support Harry Potter or J.K. Rowling. Get that. But at least they may want to check it out now because it just looks so good. I feel like that kind of J.K. herself kind of pushed Universal to make it even better because of her controversial comments. They don't want people to shy away from that. They really want to draw people in. So I think this is part of the result of that product. Because how could you not at least look at it? You don't have to buy anything, but how could you not look at it?
That's a great point, Wizard. That's actually a really good point I never considered, where it's like, yeah, Universal's looking at this going, okay, J.K. Rowling is like you were saying, a very polarizing figure. A lot of people, don't like her for various reasons, and her comments, her tweets, and what have you. So Universal is thinking, okay, we got to hit a home run, like grand slam. Like this thing has to be just jaw dropping to sort of transcend her, to sort of transcend all her controversies. And honestly, I think she succeeded. I think they succeeded. I think Universal succeeded in doing that, where I think people are, like you said, Wizard, you don't have to support J.K. Rowling. You don't have to buy the merchandise or anything.
Yeah, you don't have to go any butterbeer or nothing, but how could you not want to go take a look,
Yeah, this is gorgeous. Look, seriously, like I'm a Disney guy. I've always made no bones about it, but this is one of the best queues I've ever seen in my life. I can't even really think of another queue that even kind of comes close to this. To be honest with you, in terms of the detail, can you, George, am I wrong on that, or?
No, not at all. I feel like with each section of Harry Potter that Universal has been doing, they've upped their game. I feel like with Diagon Alley, they upped their game from when they did the original Wizarding World, and now with the Ministry of Magic, I feel like they upped their game from Diagon Alley. I'm for sure that the Paris area for the Fantastic Beasts looks fine too, but I'm not a huge fan of that franchise. I never could get into it. I still have no idea what the hell's going on in those
and I have a point. I have a point to that too, which makes sense. The Harry Potter films are much better, but hopefully, and I feel like that what you said, George, obviously the Fantastic Beasts films were not the greatest, right? But they have contracts in place that started building the land. So I feel like that's another one. Like, let's probably make this as good as possible.
Maybe they oh, sorry, bro, really quick. Maybe they made those films specifically for people with insomnia.
But
for insomnia.
Could be. Because I hope this turns into like another like Cars Land thing, right? Where people could be mixed on the Cars film, but love the land. So I hope maybe again Universal put all their money into this because the film's but like shoot, we're already building this thing, so let's just make it super good. So make it like a Cars Land where people can like hate the Fantastic Beasts films, but they love coming to the land. At least even just for the ride, hopefully because it just looks so good, and I hope that's what this turns into.
Yeah, and Wizard, you're onto something with that. Because I've known a lot of examples in my personal life, and even just with me personally or family or whoever, where, like for example, right, when they opened Pandora, I'm not a huge Avatar guy. I liked Way of Water a whole lot, but I'm not like invested in this franchise at all. You know what I'm saying?
And
but I fell in love.
Forgot about the first movie.
Exactly. And it's like, but I go into Pandora and it's one of my favorite things that Disney has ever built. Same with Cars Land. Like you were saying, Wizard, like I'm not a huge Cars franchise guy at all. One of the best things at Disneyland Resort, one of my favorite areas. You know what I'm saying? My ex-girlfriend hated Star Wars, which is so funny. Like, a girlfriend of OG hating Star Wars. How weird is that, right?
I can't believe we're together for so long.
I couldn't. I know, man. It was crazy. But she
walked into Galaxy's Edge and hated it more.
Yeah.
Said, heck no, turn right out.
Heck no, get out of here. Yeah. No, but she actually really loved Rise of the Resistance. That was like one of her favorite things, even though she hated Star Wars, right? So it's like we see over and over again this, where it's like sometimes you can create a product or a themed experience where even despite the fact that you don't like the franchise, you can be super invested in it. And it works in reverse too. Look at Monsters Inc. at DCA. No one cares about that attraction. No one gives a shit about Monsters. But the movie's amazing.
And see, that's the same argument as what you see the people online always say, "Oh no, this IP can never be a land," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I mean, there's so many examples of things like, for example, the latest one's like Wicked. They're like, if Wicked doesn't make $1 billion, it's not never going to be a theme park land. Like, how do you know? Like, if you've seen the movie, it looks like you're in a theme park. I mean, George said it. It looks like you're literally in a theme park land. If they make it just so good and realistic, even people who don't like Wicked will probably walk into that land. I mean, Elizabeth doesn't like Harry Potter or J.K. Rowling. She's one, but she loves the Wizarding World of Harry Potter land. So these people that say this can never be a land because the movie did terrible, or this can never be a land because of blah blah blah, I say screw you, because I mean that's impossible. You just can make it look good.
And honestly, even if a film does flop at the box office or a franchise isn't as strong as another movie, that still doesn't even mean that it can't be a terrific theme park land. You know, like you could look at even the Cars franchise, like you guys had mentioned. The first one did very well. The second one, anyway, the third one did okay. But I mean, collectively as a land, it brings in the people, it brings in the guests, because there's something for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah, well, and look at
also,
Water World. You know, I mean, it's so
popular.
popular.
That too, Water World. You know, and these things like this land and the Cars, especially Cars Land. Cars Land, and the land works, and this is where Galaxy's Edge kind of messed up. When you don't, it can just be like a timeless place. Like there's no reference from Cars 2 and Cars Land, or really Cars 3. It's just the town of Cars. There's no direct movie reference, maybe like the waterfall, but and like Hogsmeade and the Harry Potter lands, there's no like direct like this is right from this one. There's like some Easter eggs, but the whole land is just like it kind of consists, whether the movies are not are part of it. There's no characters walking around. It's just just iconic landmarks. So if I do it like that, you know, and not set it in some timeline or whatever, and Avengers Campus is, we'll see, the Avengers Campus, that's another one, doesn't really have any Marvel landmarks, which is why I think it's not as popular as they may have hoped. But if you just put like Cars Land and all this stuff in popular landmarks, then people are like, oh, I just saw that. It looks like in the movie. Then I think that's how you make the land great and timeless, no matter what type of movie comes out and how good it does. In my opinion.
Now, How to Train Your Dragon, the land that's going in Epic Universe, that's going to be the events after the second movie. Is that correct?
That one, yeah, I think after the second movie, because that's when they're all living in harmony.
Interesting. And that live action one looks incredible. At least from the trailer, I was really impressed with that. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah, the way Toothless looks, I'm shocked.
Yeah. Oh, it's perfection. It really is. Now, Wizard, if I'm not mistaken, this is the elevators that you were, or the I'm not sorry, not elevators, but the fireplaces that you were referring to earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where you come on out in these stanchions, then you continue on, and then we go straight. That's when you get to the big room that you first showed with the statue and all those offices there.
Awesome. I'm in love with the way this looks, man. The tile work and everything.
I was just going to say the tile work looks
absolutely incredible. This kind of gives off a little bit of like Buena Vista Street vibes, you know. I'm digging that. Now I'm not a huge Potterhead, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure this is what it looked like in the movie, but I just love the design. It's very Art Deco in a lot of ways. So very, very cool here.
And if you look at the sides, like right here, like where like you see the green background of the tile, I can see them kind of utilizing that same style of that Art Deco kind of way if they were to make a Wicked.
Me too, 100%.
Yep. And this movie Wicked is doing really well, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it? At the box office right now?
Yes.
It made $15 million on Monday, which
biggest
was
ever for November.
Biggest Monday, in November in film history.
It's wild. Absolutely wild. They are rolling in the dough. They got these beautiful statues
would be
here.
Good, by the way, before we continue, because we all talk about universal IP problem, right? So they can, like, Wicked is finally like their own IP that could potentially be really big. It could solve some of those IP issues, so you don't have to keep leasing them. So I hope that's another reason to make it a land. You don't have to pay someone else. You know, it's your own property and it's pretty successful. I don't see why they wouldn't make it at somewhere a land, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you, Wizard. It's an in-house property. It looks like it's off to a fantastic start at the box office. It'll have legs. I've heard good things about the movie. Yeah, it's really a no-brainer. With the people that are saying that there's no way they're going to build that land. Okay, yeah, there's no way, because the fans, most of the times the fans have no idea. I've been saying for so long, dude. Like, I was in these like Disneyland like message boards like back in the day, like with AOL and shit. And there were fans arguing with each other that you can't really build behind, the Big Thunder barbecue restaurant because there's buildings back there they need. It's backstage. You can't touch those. Okay. Yeah. Life found a way. So if they really want to do something, they can do it. And building a Wicked Land, Universal is more than capable of doing that. And it's making buco bucks. So yeah. I think it might
same
happen.
with like Moana, right? No matter how this movie does, good or bad, we still know it's like the biggest thing on Disney Plus. So I'm pretty sure more Moana is coming to the parks, no matter how good or bad this movie does. Because I know some people are going to start that argument, but they literally said what the biggest movie on Disney Plus since its inception, or like one of the most watched things. Yeah, a ride's coming, people.
And they're already anticipating opening weekend for Moana 2, like projecting between like 135, 140 million.
Which is great.
Yeah, that's huge. Box office right now is flourishing. We got Wicked, we got Moana 2, we got a lot of good stuff. So
Gladiator 2 is doing actually very decent at the box office.
Interesting. So these statues, Wizard, these look really cool. Do we know how tall these are, to give a little perspective on like what we're looking at here?
Let's see. Oh boy, I don't, but I can guess. Like, I don't know, maybe what? I'm trying to compare it to the windows. Is it like one of those windows? Maybe maybe like 30 feet? I'd say. I don't know. How big is a window, do you think? Like 20, 30 feet? The way they took it's like this. So.
Well, and also too, they look like they're on a platform, and it looks like the platform's elevated.
Yeah,
so they look very hard to tell.
Yeah, they look so grand. But this is one of the things I love about what they're doing over at Epic Universe, because whoever does their statues, I don't know who, because we used to have, who was the guy? Was it Blaine? Was it David? Who was the guy who did the statues at Disneyland? The partner statue, George. You're the encyclopedia with that stuff. Do you remember the name?
Oh,
I thought it was Blaine. I could be wrong.
Come on, George. This is Disney Jeopardy. You better get this.
Come on.
Oh, I think you might have stumped me on that one.
Abby's gonna slap you.
Yeah.
Well. Anyway, he's no longer with us. But I mean, Disney has gotten some really great creatives to do those statues over at the Disney parks through the years. I'm really curious who has done these statues for Epic Universe, because we're seeing amazing work here, both in this Ministry of Magic attraction, but also even at the Helios. They have those dope like looking, right?
Yeah, the Luna and the Helio. It's funny. I know this guy, this little half horse dude. He was in the movie. I forgot his name, but I know he's like in the forest area. It's just funny because it reminds me of the Chronicles of Narnia. You know how they that dude in Narnia. And I was like, Narnia, but it's
really quick. Blaine Gibson.
There we go.
You're right. Don't you got it half right?
I got it half right. His name is Blaine Gibson. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's a genius. He's an incredible artist. But they use somebody else now. I don't know the person's name, obviously. But like, I'm very curious who did these statues at Epic, because they look really good. Yeah, they look epic. Absolutely. It says here that, so here we have a little theming here. Umbridge stands trial today. Like you were saying, George, this takes place after. Very cool stuff here. Loving it. And then they show us a little more detail.
A little homage, like the paper airplane with the W for the Weasley brothers on it.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the Intelliata. You're quite the Potterhead over here, George. Who knew? So you were pretty into these movies back in the day?
Yeah, like in the movie wise, yeah, like I can maybe like depict like if something is standing out of how it kind of correlates to the films. Yeah.
So that W doesn't stand for
Mustard on the beat, ho.
West Coast. Okay. Sorry, I'm excited about my mustard drops. You know what I'm saying? And then we got some more detail here, which looks absolutely incredible. Some some moldings and what have you. I got some dragon work.
Yeah, I love the gold there. Just looks so great.
Oh, it looks beautiful, man. Beautiful work here. Just amazing stuff. And moving down a little bit, we got. Is it Doobie? Is this what?
I think this one's Higgly.
It's
Higgly. I can't say it, but it's Higgly.
Higgly. There he is, looking very higgly. Higgly doing his higgly things, you know. What say you, Wizard? What are your thoughts on this? Is this an animatronic or is this
this will be an animatronic, the Higgy, whatever her name is. But this is the Umbridge's little house elf that is probably very abused, poor house elf. And then, but this will be a nice little animatronic, and I bet she's hoping that Umbridge goes to jail for centuries and centuries.
Yeah, absolutely. These little elves need to like unionize or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like geez.
It's like, come on. And here I'm just continuously impressed with the tile work. Really cool stuff. Looks fantastic. And then we got moving down. Now this is okay. I've never seen a ride vehicle like this in my entire life. Leather seats, or at least they look
I know
leather.
what is this? What is like a limousine? Like my goodness.
I have to say, for the amount of work and hard work that Universal has put into this, so guests, be kind and don't use these chairs as your picking device. That's what
I do. Like I hope they don't allow food on this thing, because you can imagine like smudges and people dropping stuff. Oh, because it looks just so nice. Oh man, those cleaning teams, I feel for you. Those third shift cleaning teams, but it's also interesting to note, not only does it look nice, look at the seat belts. It's very a very nice just lap bar system. So meaning people of all sizes should be easily be able to fit in this thing comfortably, which is Universal not known for that. So a good step in the right direction for that, because usually they'd have some like crazy restraint, like some Secret Life of Pets thing going on, but now it's just like a Tower of Terror lap bar, which is great. So I'm glad they decided to switch that up. Hopefully that continues with all the Epic Universe rides, except for the monsters because of its system. But hopefully all the other rides are just like this, where it's pretty friendly to all sizes of people, which is cool, and all heights.
Yeah, no, that's a good observation, Wizard. Like, you're right. Universal is known for like their very kind of like tight fit stuff that like a lot of people, bigger people, have a hard time, or sometimes can't even get on it at all. It's good that they're addressing those concerns and complaints, and Secret Life of Pets. I tell you, I
want to staple you in there, man.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, come on.
You think you get the bar as far down as you possibly can? Oh no, they find a way just to get it one notch down.
So if you just ate, don't go on Secret Life of Pets. Your food might come up as pressing on your stomach like that. Jeez Louise.
I'm telling you. For us guys who are blessed, really endowed down there, it's tough, man. It's like, oh man,
I'll never forget my friend when she went on that ride for the first time with me. She's like, wait a second, is this a roller coaster? I'll put my stuff down. I'm like, no, it's okay, don't worry. And now it looks like one, but my goodness, she is legit scared. She's like, wait a second, what am I getting myself into here?
It's funny, Wizard. We were George and I, we were at Disneyland with Slimer. That was back in August, right? Slimer and Michael Webba, and we were waiting in line for Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. And remember this, George? And there was this family behind us.
Oh my God.
And the mom and the daughter were telling the husband, right? They were telling the dad, we'll go on Mission Breakout next. And he's like, what's that? And he's like, that big tower over there. And he's like, oh, I'm not going on that. I don't like drop rides. They were lying through their teeth. They were like, oh yeah,
terrible.
Yeah. They were like, you drop, but it's a slow drop. You don't go up and down real fast. Remember, George? Dude, they were like,
I was tempted that I was going to follow the family on to really see like how that was going to end up going.
And this dude was like in his 50s. I'm like, you're going to give this dude a heart attack.
He's like, I feel so terrible. The moment it just took off, I'm like, oh my gosh. It's funny because when you go on a Mission Breakout, you can easily tell the people that do that. Like you can, like when you're in your groups, the people, there's always someone who's super excited, then other half of groups like super terrified. You can tell they got forced to go on. And now that's gonna be that dude. Oh god. He
This
probably
poor
wouldn't.
guy, this poor dude. He was like, I'm so curious if they ended up putting him on that ride. That had to have been a
Right.
nightmare for him. That's hilarious.
Hopefully, when he was walking up to it, he looked up and saw when the door opened. He's like, "Wait a second, that doesn't look slow."
It's a trap. It's a trap. And here's some concept art of like kind of what we're looking at. It's kind of a cool little hybrid of like Tower of Terror mixed with like the Forbidden Journey. Is that kind of what we're looking at here, a wizard?
Yeah, so it's basically like the Tower of Terror ride vehicle. You'll only be going. I feel like you're going up like hundreds and hundreds of stories, but you'll only be going up or down like 3 stories at a time, and there at once. And then it's like you're on like a Transformers like motion base track. So then you'll be able to kind of tilt and go back and forth and up and down and up and side to side. Be moving through dark ride scenes. But unlike Transformers, there'll be obviously some screens to assist you, but there'll be mostly animatronics. Like these guys here will be animatronics to look at. So it'll be a much vastly better ride experience than screen after screen after screen, which is good because this particular scene here looks like one of the grand finales. There's some Death Eaters in this one. Umbridge is escaping. And see how big that room is? I know it's just concept art, but the room is like huge. Like the showboating is massive for this thing. So I'm very curious to see how big just everything looks when you're looking out that window there.
It's got to be huge because they set up the expectation when you're in that queue and you have that massive room that seems like it goes on forever. So if the queue looks like that, I can't imagine how grand and epic the show scenes look like, because you have to like top the queue, which is a tall order. Oh, what say you, Italiano? I'm sorry, I cut you off, brother.
Oh no, you're good, bro. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks very a very daunting task to bring something like this. Just looking at it through a concept piece of art, that to see this in person, I could imagine the scope, and especially if majority of them are going to be audio animatronics. Now, I'm for sure, obviously, they got the actress that plays Umbridge to reprise her role for this attraction. Was anybody else on board? Like, are they getting Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson? Are they reprising their role?
I don't know. I don't know, actually. I think their parts will be mostly screened, so they might just use some archival footage or something. I think that's what I heard. I think maybe one of them might be coming back. But I think, is Voldemort in here? I thought I heard he was coming back. But only one I know for sure is she's coming back. But the Ralph Fiennes may be coming back. For whatchamacallit, Voldemort, if he's in the ride.
Nice.
The other guys, I think they're on screen, so they might just use some archival footage.
That's the one thing that I wish. The only thing that I wish that they did better with Escape from Gringotts. I wish that we got more, because it's more so screen based. I would have loved to have seen like a Voldemort or Bellatrix audio animatronic, or even Nagini. Like that would have been.
Nagini, heck yeah.
There you go. Now, real quick, before we skedaddle, I want to pick your brain, Wizard, on. So we talked about this in the DMs, right? The whole idea that Comcast is spinning off, they're spinning off their television assets, except for Bravo, right? So Bravo is staying in the Comcast family, but the TV stuff is being spun off, like MSNBC and all that stuff, right? We were speculating in the DMs that like this could be a sign that they're offloading it, so they will have less of a hurdle to maybe purchase Warner Brothers down the road. What's your expanded thoughts on that?
I think so, because think about it. Look, they're offloading stuff that's losing them money they don't need anyway, and then with upcoming presidential administration, they're a bit looser on those guidelines of merging things. So it's like it's a pretty good opportunity, and they have a lot of money. So I feel like, and Warner Brothers itself, Zazzy keeps sinking the stock, so it keeps it's an attractive option. I think everything's gonna come together, because and the Comcast be able to get it at a bargain, because that Warner Brothers stock is like under $10 or something. So
yeah, it's like $7 or something crazy.
So I mean, that's like pennies. So I feel like come next year, I wouldn't be surprised to hear a rumbling of like when all these transactions go through. Zazie sells to Mr. Brian Roberts.
I agree with you 100%, Wizard. I agree with you. I was talking to Seymour about it too. He was kind of on board. I think that here's the thing. I think that if Comcast Universal can acquire the Warner Brothers library, that is the biggest game change. And you want to talk about Disney shitting their pants, that would be the moment, because Universal would have in-house IP that would rival Disney's in-house IP. And I mean, really, the only other studio that has IP like Disney is Warner Brothers. And if Comcast Universal acquires that, now they wouldn't have to even, Harry Potter wouldn't even be licensed out for them anymore for the theme parks. They would own that property.
Exactly.
And not to mention too, with Universal Hollywood, with the park and the studio tram tour and everything, the Warner Brothers lot is not that far from there. So they basically end up having both studios basically right then and there, like right next to each other.
Well, and that's and that also benefits
then
Hollywood.
because they can move all the productions to the sound stages, then they can demo them for more theme park stuff.
Exactly, Wizard. Exactly. That's exactly where I was going with it too. Because you can offload whatever sound stages you need, put them on the Warner lot, and now you open up for Hollywood for more theme park stuff.
Or if they want to add the Warner Brothers lot to the tram tour, but stop the tram and they hoist us all on these zip lines and they zoom us on right to the lot.
There we go. Hey, Brian Roberts, I know you watched the show, so I have one suggestion. If you buy Warner Brothers, Brian, please give us an Animaniacs Dark Ride. I will love you forever.
Please do it.
Animaniacs, oh my gosh. Yeah, if we were to get a dark ride of Animaniacs, just like The Secret Life of Pets, maybe a little bit more zany, like on the Wild Side,
like Roger Rabbit.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Oh gosh, that would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Mr. Wizard, it is always fun having you on the channel, brother. Make sure everybody at home, make sure you follow, subscribe to him. Oh, here we go.
Hi, Monster Hunter Beat Ho.
He's a fellow. Yes, fellow West Coaster, Mr. Wizard. If you can remind everybody where they can find you on social media, sir.
You can find me on Twitter at ParkWizard1, and then you can know everywhere else, Theme Park Wizard, Threads, Blue Sky. The sky is blue over here. And then that other place. YouTube, yeah, that's right. And then you can find me on Patreon, become a YouTube member. You can book vacations with me where you get free mustard.
Hi, Monster Hunter Beat Ho.
There we go. And I'll be at the very
sponsored by French's.
Exactly. And at the end of this, I will be linking one of Wizard's videos, so stay tuned for that. It'll be at the very end. It'll be Epic Universe related. Mr. Italiano, where can everybody find you on social media, sir, besides the club?
Hi, Monster Hunter Beat Ho.
Absolutely. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You could also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And of course, you can find me right here on my home base on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner, with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info.
There he is. All right, everybody. It's been a great show. Comment down below with all your thoughts. And until the next.
Thank you for watching OG55. If you aren't already, consider becoming a member today.